Welcome to your WordPress dashboard. This is the dashboard homepage where you can get a quick glimpse of how many posts and pages that you have on your site currently, as well as go ahead and create quick drafts and get some WordPress news. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what the various links along the left-hand side are and what they do, and then in later videos I'll go ahead and be diving into how each of these work. But first, let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at the Posts menu. The Posts section is where all of your blog posts are controlled. You'll get a list view that shows all the posts that you've created so far, and as you hover over them, you can go ahead and quickly access the editor. You can quick edit, delete, or view any of your posts. You can also create a new post by clicking the Add New button up top or the Add New button on the side. This is where you'll also control categories and tags that can be added and appended to your blog post to keep the organization a little more structured. Next, you have the Media section, which is where all of your media assets for your website live. So images, videos, PDFs, documents, anything of that nature will go ahead and be housed in the media library. And you can change the view quickly up here and do various different things with them, such as delete and edit and add new. This is a great way to go ahead and add multiple images at one time into your site that you know you're going to be using as you build it. Another good thing to note about the media library is that you're able to add an image here and use it multiple times throughout your site without having to upload that image every single time that you want to use it. Next, we'll move along to the links section, which is a list of links that is directly tied to the list widget tool, which we'll show you later. But it's a quick way to go ahead and throw a list of useful links or anything of that sort into your website quickly. And you can add new also, again, by clicking Add New here and Add New up at the top with this button. You'll see a lot of the stuff in WordPress as we move forward has similar functionality and where new things can be added, such as the Pages section. Again, you have the Add New link here and an Add New button up top. And the Pages section looks a lot like the Posts section, and that's because they're created about the same, but their functionality is different. But again, you can hover over things, get edit, quick edit, trash, and view, and all your functionality is right here. Next, you have the Comments section, where if you have commenting enabled in your blog posts or on specific pages, all of the comments will appear here in a list view, and you'll be able to do things like mark them as spam, delete them, or approve them if you have moderation enabled. So everything that has to do with comments that have been made on your site lives under the Comments section. Next, you have the Appearance section, which is a big section of your site, and it has to do with all the actual appearance of your website, including the themes, where you can go in, activate themes that you've installed. You can go ahead and look at new themes, give them a preview, install them, and go ahead and just kind of get an idea and customize the full look of your site. Now, further than themes, you have the Customization tab, which allows you to customize your active theme. For instance, right now I have the 2015 theme active, and here's where I can go ahead and change the title and the colors of this specific theme while I have it activated. Now, different themes will have different customizations available, so every time you activate or install a new theme, go ahead and get familiar with the Customize menu. The Widgets section is where all of the widgets that you have available to your site are. For instance, that list of links that we just looked at earlier over here has to do with this links list right here, and if I drag that into the widget area, which I already have, you would be able to see that list displayed. This is where you can also create custom navigation menus, tweak your headers and backgrounds, and also directly edit the CSS code of your active theme if you choose. Next, you have the Plugins section, which will give you a list of all the plugins that you currently have installed on your website. Plugins are bolt-on tools that add increased functionality to your website. You can add new and search the whole plugins library by going through, clicking the Add New, and then going and searching for anything that you want to look for in the plugins and then installing and activating them. You also have the Users panel, which allows you to go ahead and view all the people that you have as users for your site, as well as add new users, which again, there's the Add New button here and Add New button over on the left. And this would allow you to add collaborators and other people that you need to have access to the dashboard of your site. This is where you can go ahead and add people to your website. The Tools section by default is pretty empty, but as you go ahead and start adding more plugins from the plugins menu up here, you'll get more tools to show up. A lot of times the settings will appear there for the plugins, or they'll go under settings, or they'll get their own tab. But speaking of settings, now we'll take a look at that, and this is where the general settings for your website live, such as the date and time format, which are important because they tie directly to your blog post. Every time you make a post, it'll have a date and time appended to it, so you want to make sure that your time zone is set correctly and that the format is laid out in the way that you want it to display publicly on your site. You also have the writing section, which has to do with how you can write your post, the reading section that has to do with how your posts are viewed, and the discussion section, which has a lot of settings that are tied directly to your commenting. So that's a quick overview of the WordPress dashboard, and we'll be diving into most of these sections in more detail in subsequent videos.